Hey there, hi there, ho there, everybody. Rob here. It's October 23rd, 2024. I'm in downtown Kokomo, Indiana, about an hour north of Indianapolis. And my grandfather, Max Cork, and his wife, Becky Cork, lived here in the 1930s. They were married in 1937. My Uncle Joe was born in this town in 1938. And this is the Firestone building where my grandfather worked. He was a service manager, transferred from Terre Haute over here to Kokomo. And up on the second floor where the brick is and on the roof, they had storage for automobiles. On the first floor, they had a place where you could just pull in your car for service. On a nice day, they opened up the doors and had the fresh air come in. And according to an article that I'll link to here, had pretty clean restrooms and even a shower for the truckers to get a little bit cleaned up. So he was the service manager, and the photo that you see here of him holding the Grumman Gulfhawk model, I believe was taken outside of this building. I can't find the exact spot because the buildings are different now. And I'll swing around a little bit so you can see what's here around it. Looks like some older buildings. Some of these would have been here when he was here. Right on that side is the current library, opened in 1966. The earlier library was the Carnegie Library, endowed by Andrew Carnegie. And then behind me is the Tribune building. So some of this would have certainly been here at that time. In 1938, my grandparents were living at 503 and a half North Market Street. I take it was a duplex. And that's where they were when my Uncle Joe was born in June of 1938. This is a county building, and right next to it is where the house was. Interestingly enough, there's a driveway and a sidewalk going to nowhere, so I'm assuming that that's where the house used to be. There's still some older houses in the block next to it and across the street. This is next to the county building that I just showed you, and I'm walking through what would have been my grandparents' backyard, heading toward North Market Street, trying not to disturb the neighbors. And as we head out toward the front, you can see the sidewalk and the driveway. This is on North Union Street, looking at the back of where my grandparents' house was, that county building. And then across North Union, Rhine Hall, which was here in 1930. So if they looked out their back window or back door or in the backyard, they would have seen this here. Let's take a little walk. It's a beautiful day here in October. If my grandfather walked to work, which I assume he did frequently, and he stepped out of the front door, this is the view he would have had. Now he also may have gone out the back door, because that goes right onto North Union Street, which is the street where Firestone was located. Right now we're walking along North Market Street. When my grandfather lived here, he was 23 years old. He was transferred to Kokomo, Firestone, from Terre Haute. He was the service manager. And I believe they moved back to Terre Haute after this. There's a new office building here that I'm sure he would not have seen on his walk. But there's some other older houses and buildings. Certainly as close as he was to work. I imagine he could have come home for lunch. And interestingly enough, we're walking up now to Taylor Street, the intersection of Market and Taylor Street. My Grandma Cork's maiden name was Taylor. I'm quite certain they found that interesting. So now we're turning right Going around the block of that big apartment building. Again, some other older buildings across the street, along with a empty parking lot for county parking. And we're heading up toward North Union Street here in Kokomo. I'll put up some other pictures a little bit later of some other locations in town. It's a pretty expansive town. I believe this is the older part of town where a lot of the original businesses would have been located. That's just an assumption, but I'm walking and talking. So now we're coming up to the intersection of Taylor and North Union. This is real time, folks. And we're going to turn left onto North Union. After watching to make sure there are no cars coming, I've got a four-way stop. Another county building, I believe, across the way. I'm going to cross North Union carefully while looking in all directions. The picture that I put up in the video of my grandfather holding the model of the Grumman Gulf Hawk, I can imagine him walking this walk to take the model over to work to show his colleagues, because I believe that's where the photo was taken. Of course, I'm not certain, but from the looks of it, he was at work in his coat to work at Firestone, and there seemed to be a business behind him, which what's in the background is no longer there, but I can imagine so. Over on the left side again is the Kokomo Tribune. Straight ahead up on the left there is the current library. And here's the Firestone building. Less than a 5-minute walk. Nice walk for my grandpa to head over to work at the Firestone building as the service manager. Certainly customer service is something that has run in our family for a very long time, and it's in the blood. And I'm very grateful to my grandpa for that legacy.